been kind of putting off for until I start streaming again is this video right here. Give me a second. Is this 8 NBA fans debate the greatest duos of all time? I'm really curious about where this direction to go. I do see Pee Wee in here. Do some people enjoy basketball. Hey, the deep three. This is a star-studded debate, and I'm really curious what they got going on.
My duo both have final MVPs on
I
the
forgot Chill was in here too. Oh my God, this is a iconic
same team
episode
together.
right here.
Your duo didn't even like each other, man.
Is that Swiper and B? Oh
So why does that
no,
matter?
we're in
Draymond
for a
Green is a
little.
grade A
got
jackass.
Isaac-
Steph Curry is an amazing human being that is amazing at keeping him level.
He had a chance to win in 2019 with no Kevin Durant, no Boogie, and it was just Draymond and just Steph. And what happened? They got walked.
You got beat by Rudy Gobert, and you are going to tell me that Jamal Murray is better than Scottie Pippen.
Nobody plays off of anybody better than Jamal off Nikola Jokic.
Then why don't they win as much as the
Because
Spurs?
they had better teams.
Talk to me,
Welcome
talk
to
to me,
the
talk
GOAT
to me.
bracket.
Oh my God, I'm
We're
excited.
here to find out the greatest duo.
Who is the greatest duo on here? Off rip, I am knocking off Jokic and Murray. I am knocking off LeBron and Wade. Because I don't believe Wade's even his best teammate. He won the most with Wade. I mean, it's definitely debatable. I think LeBron and Wade is better than Jokic and Murray. Obviously, that's a lock. You can't beat 6-0 for Jordan and Pip. Oh, you guys can't even see that. Hold up, give me a second. Right here for now. You can't beat Jordan and Pip. That's 6-0. Jokic and Murray, get the fuck up out of here. Not even going to entertain that idea. Park and Duncan, they have 4 rings together. Duncan has 5. But how much do you attribute that to them being a duo and whether the team itself being good? I think Park and Duncan gotta go. Steph and KD in the 3 years together, 2 championships, 0 MVPs from either of them. I think team success as best you can get, 2 rings in 3 years. But then again, it's Steph and KD. The team itself is also really good. Steph, Clay, and I'm taking this as how much were they as a duo attributed to them to a team winning. You feel me? Magic and Kareem. Then again, this is more of the entire team was just good. This is a great fucking team in the 80s. We're talking about Magic, Kareem, Worthy, AC Green. This can go on and on. This is a really good team. I'm blanking out. I think Byron Scott also on that team. We're talking about a really good Laker team. Steph and Draymond, they're in the slumps together. You have to give Shaq and Kobe also. Team wasn't as great, especially Shaq and Kobe were just so dominant. 3-peated. LeBron and Wade, the reason why I'm knocking them out so early on is simply because of Wade wasn't himself, man. Wade's injuries really took a toll. 2011, LeBron didn't have the great series. 2014, Wade didn't have a great series. So I don't really know where you say who the greatest here. Who do I think is the greatest here? Shit. Talent-wise, it's Steph and KD. It's either Steph and KD talent-wise or Kobe and Shaq. Talent, or for the straight talent, it's Steph or KD or Kobe and Shaq. But damn. Because remember, this is older Kareem. This isn't Bucks Kareem. This is Kareem on his last legs. And he did have a couple good years. I don't think either of those years of Kareem was better than Steph or KD or Shaq and Kobe. But let's just see where this takes us.
Duo of all time. Is it Jordan and Pippen, Steph and KD, or the iconic duo of Frankenstein and his bride? In The Bride, only in theaters March 6th. Today, our judges are Derek, Kenny, and Mike.
Oh, shit.
To kick us off, we've got our number 2 seed,
Just numbers on the board. They type numbers on the board. It's
Magic and Kareem, versus
It's
the number
judging,
7
okay.
seed, Steph and Draymond.
talk to
Well,
me.
let's talk about Jabbar and Magic,
Talk to me, Chill.
2 of the greatest
I
individual players.
should have
Now, when you
guessed. I should have guessed that Chill was gonna representing.
put them together, we're talking about a big and a point guard who play off each other so well. I'm not having anything that I'm missing. I got a bucket getter in Jabbar. I got a bucket getter in Magic. I got
Bucket Getter and Magic. I mean, I don't know how much film I really have on Magic. Why's my mouse like this? Hold up. I don't think of Magic Johnson as a bucket getter per se. I mean, just off the numbers, based on the numbers, where's the averages? Boom. Off the numbers, 18. I don't know if this is bucket getting, man. 18, 21, 18, 17, 17, 18, 19, 24. I don't know bucket getting though.
Got a transition guard in Magic. I got a transition big in Jabbar, who wasn't that initially, but turned into that and became elite. These guys are fantastic together.
You mentioned a whole lot of things besides defense, and you mentioned a whole lot of things that have nothing to do
Magic
with
was not a great defender.
them as a duo.
Sure.
Individually, obviously, the most talented duo
Sure.
up here, the 2 top 5 players of all time.
Are they the most talented duo? Because I'm looking at it a time frame wise. Kareem at that time, he was still really fucking good.
As a duo, Draymond and Steph are by far the most complementary duo of all time.
Sure.
If you have Steph Curry on the court, you have an elite
agree with that.
offense. If you have Draymond Green on the court, you have an elite defense.
100%.
That synergy cannot be matched.
And Draymond's ability to feed Curry and Draymond's ability to run the offense and be that anchor, where Curry being the off-ball movement, drawing defenses away from Draymond Green, who could create and operate as that middleman in the short roll.
by any duo ever.
It's interesting you mentioned
And defense, him being the anchor.
defense. I don't know if you know this, but when Jabbar retired, he was the all-time shot block leader. Nobody can say that in NBA history. On top of him being an all-time shot block leader, when he retired, number 3 all-time in rebounding. That means that we're stopping plays with Jabbar stopping plays.
Yeah.
And on top of all of that, in terms of offense, he was the all-time leading scorer in NBA history.
yeah.
Nobody was getting more buckets than him.
sure.
So not only do I have the best bucket getter,
His best scoring years before Magic, nevertheless. That has nothing to do
100%.
with the duo list.
No, it doesn't.
So
So-
blocks have nothing to do with duo list. It's an era
Oh, it
where obviously more
100%
shots at the
does.
rim. As an era where obviously more shots are taken there, more shots are funneled towards the big. Draymond Green is the best defender of his era.
Imagine that,
In the
funneled
era
toward the
where
big.
it's hardest to play defense. It's an era.
Talk your shit. Put respect to fucking Draymond Green. Hold on, let me fix my camera. I just peeped. Hold up. Yo, I've been saying this. I am a big Draymond Green supporter till I die. I don't think he'll ever get enough credit for what he's done for the Golden State Dynasty. I don't think they have 4 rings without Draymond Green. I'm going to say 2015, the hell no, don't win. 17-18, they win. 2022, they do not win without Draymond Green. He's such a focal point to their defense. It's actually insane how no one else realizes this. Everyone thinks about Draymond as
We're
being the
off-
guy who antics, fighting, arguing, texts. But he is generally the second most important part of the Warriors dynasty outside of Stephen Curry.
Is hit a point where it's unwatchable to some fans. because
Harder to
offense
play
is so
defense?
unstoppable.
It's interesting you mentioned harder to
So
play
much
defense.
harder.
I'm playing in a big man era, and you're talking about funneling guys toward me.
Great.
So in addition to me having to deal with Moses, having to deal with Artis Gilmore, having to deal with all of these bigs, now I got to also deal with other guards getting funneled toward me, and I'm smacking that
And I
shit
have to
into
do
the
with
third
LeBron
and fourth
James,
row.
prime
That's
James
what I'm
Harden
doing.
with max spacing around him.
Absolutely.
Nevertheless, everything we say about Jordan preventing legends from getting rings.
Yes, sir.
Who did he say? He said Artis Gilmore, Moses Malone. Moses Malone's on his way out by the time the 80s came out, especially Magic and Kareem got together. I think Malone had like 4 or 5 more years left in him. By the time the 80s started, he had a couple more years. Artis Gilmore. Either way, none of those 2 players compared to LeBron James, Kevin Durant, and James Harden.
This duo prevented legends from getting rings.
Yep.
James Harden is known as a playoff choker, one of the worst offensive players to fall apart in the playoffs over and over again.
Unless
LeBron
they
got
get
stopped
there.
from having the greatest legacy of all time
Talks
because
to
these
Isaac.
duos. That's without even getting into Damian Lillard getting locked up all the time by these guys. A whole slew of stars that couldn't get anything going in
I
an era.
think that you also have to focus on the Anthony Davis side of things, the Kawhi Leonard side of things. Who else did play through the playoffs? Kawhi Leonard was on the 1 year. Kevin Durant, obviously that first year in 2016. Anthony Davis, DeMarcus Cousins. And then in 2019, obviously we still have the Harden runs. We have who did they play in that? The Damian Lillard 2019 run. 2018, who was their path? I know they played the Rockets, obviously. Who else did they play? The Rockets at conference finals. I believe they played the Pelicans in the first round. I'm blanking on that second
Where
round.
everybody's offensive numbers are so good in the playoffs until you see Draymond Green in the
Yep.
playoffs.
And it's interesting you mentioned guys
And in 2022, he slowed down Jokic. He gave Jokic hell in 22. And that was Jokic's first MVP, too. He gave Jokic hell.
numbers, but Draymond Green's his numbers fell off as time went on.
That's everyone, though. That's everyone.
Jabbar and Magic, by the way, when these guys were together, the longer they stayed together, the better Magic
Magic came in as a rookie by the time Kareem got there. That's my argument. And Magic had a really short career. So we didn't really get to see Magic play past his prime.
even got.
Draymond Green was second in DPOY 2 years ago when he was washed. That's quite the longevity for an elite
Second,
defender.
think about who he was going up against. Like, imagine Jabbar going up against Evan Mobley. Are we
Hey. Respect Evan Mobley, man.
Serious right now. Imagine Jabbar having
He ain't no Wembanyama, but come
to
on.
deal with Jaren Jackson. Jaren Jackson is getting
Ah, yeah, fair enough. Yeah, fuck Jordan.
played off the floor against Jabbar.
Sure,
Absolutely.
yeah. Mentioning the 150th best players they played against.
Absolutely.
And not
This is his
LeBron
competition.
James Harden.
That's his competition. Meanwhile, Jabbar's competition as a defender, he's got to deal with Moses. He's got to deal with Hakeem Olajuwon. Bigs like that.
Hakeem? I mean, what? Hakeem was the 83 draft. He didn't really feel like he was Hakeem to the late 80s. Jabbar retired in, 88, 89? I don't know. Hakeem wasn't really his prime until that 90s hit. You can't really use Hakeem in this
At
argument.
that Patrick Ewing, and he's still
Also, he wasn't in his prime until the 90s.
Finals MVP at 37, 38 years old. Y'all haven't even lasted that long. You were telling me that Draymond Green in the finals, he shouldn't even played in the NBA finals. But Jabbar, on the other hand, in 1985,
I was telling you.
in 1985, at 38 years old, was the best player in the finals. They gave him the flowers. Why? Because he was the best player in the finals. Draymond, on the other hand, was basically playing himself off the court. Why? Because offensively, he can be deficient
And
as a
that's
bucket getter.
why we have such an amazing duo and why we're better than the sum of our parts. So many duos can come up here and say they have the two most talented players. If we're using your logic, Steph and KD are by far the best duo of all time.
That's my point. I think Steph and KD, from the years they played together, are more talented as a duo, more talented as players than Magic Kareem.
But we're not. We're talking about duos and complement each other. Draymond Green is a grade A jackass. Steph Curry is an amazing human being that is amazing at keeping him level. Steph Curry, amazing offensive player that needs some defensive help. Here comes Draymond Green. They are yin and yang. They make each other better.
And that's
Everything
the
you're
same
saying about
thing-
Draymond,
and that's the same
they
thing
won
that
in spite
Jabbar
of
and
it.
Magic did. They were basically yin and yang and made each other better. Jabbar didn't even want to play fast, but once he didn't want to play fast. But once he got
There's
with
no
Magic,
want to here. These guys can do things
Once he,
other ones
once he
can't.
did,
They
you
have
saw
no
what ended
choice
up
but to
happening
come
with each other.
to
They
both
became the best.
sides. I
Six
really
NBA
do.
champ-
They enabled
five
Kevin
NBA
Durant to get a
championships
wing.
with them.
They enabled.
This is this is personal bias. haven't watched much film of Kareem and Magic, so I'm gonna say I have this
Kevin Durant to get a ring. Nobody else could ever do that amazing accomplishment.
The amount of counters,
This was an amazing debate.
the amount of counters is crazy.
OG put me on some game because this is a duo that obviously I never got to see.
I do think OG didn't start off talking about how Magic and Kareem mesh well together. I do like that Isaac countered that by saying you never talked about them as a duo and how Steph and Dre are like, they mesh well together.
With a decision of 2
Hold on, D. Millie. I see your shit. Hold on.
Steph
Look at
and
this
Dre
shit.
are like,
Yo,
they
it's
mesh
shining. Yo, D. Millie.
well together.
Hold on.
decision of 2-1.
Yo.
The Golden State Warriors and Steph Curry and Draymond Green is advancing to the next round.
Yeah, chill. Damn, I want to see more of chill though. It's
I thought it
recent
was
season.
interesting that I didn't bring up Jabbar and Magic as a duo. In fact, that's one of the first things I brought up when I said that these two guys being as good as they were apart, once they got together, they were even more awesome. I originally brought that point right to the table, and I talked about how good Jabbar was as a defender, how good Magic was, and I talked about how good they were together and how they won as many games as that they did, as many games they did. But clearly, I didn't convince you guys. So
Our
Damn,
next
OG.
matchup is the number 4 seed Duncan
This should be a wash.
and Tony Parker versus the number 5
Steph
seed
and KD.
Steph and KD.
It's Steph and
First
KD.
things first, you guys look great today. All you judges. Just
Thank
wanna
you.
let
Oh
you guys
man,
know.
I appreciate that. I appreciate
But
the
because it's Pierre going against that's Chris from House of Highlights. Pierre's
Please.
washing.
Nice +1.
My duo check boxes, right? We got accolades together. We won together. We got one of the highest win percentages in NBA history, over 800 wins together when you combine the regular season and the playoffs, 4 championships. I don't know what you're going to be able to say against that. I'm very interested to hear. You do have an
As a
incredible
duo, it's
duo
nothing to
as
the
2
Parker.
individuals, but together, I just don't know if they can top Duncan and Parker.
Okay, you said your duo has all those accolades and stuff, but at the end of the day, the Spurs have such a great team. You have Greg Popovich leading the charge, and just overall, the Spurs. Okay, so 4 championships in 6.
Pierre's washing the fuck out of him. There's a sense of confidence in that motherfucker's voice. I fuck with Chris. I think he's kind of entertaining, kind of funny on his TikToks, but he just isn't a debater, man. He's a troll. He says things that will trigger people. He says buzzwords that get people pissed off. That's what he does. He isn't a debater. He's more of an entertaining. He probably knows his shit, but he isn't a debater.
16 years, right? The last one because of Danny Green and Kawhi Leonard. But look at the Warriors. I mean, KD and Curry.
See, he's like
3 finals appearances in 3 years and 2 rings. Like no one's doing that. No.
If they were so great, wouldn't it be more?
It wasn't more because of that man right there. Well, not him, but Draymond Green. Draymond Green ruined the chemistry. KD would have stayed there
Ain't nothing
longer. If
You
not.
just held one of the points I couldn't wait to get to.
Yeah, I wanna
Your
hear it.
duo's so weak that they got another guy on the team. They almost made
that's not 'cause
four.
of basketball,
No,
that's 'cause of-
no. They asked him to have Clay or Draymond, which means that your duo had a lot of options. There was only Tony Parker and Duncan on the table. There was no other duo that they could have put on this panel up here. So you really got to force some. I'm fighting against 4 up here. How good is your duo that they can make another duo on this panel?
Okay, no. Okay, hold on.
Cooked. You find this shit, bro. This isn't your shit, Chris. It's not your shit.
My duo won in the
in terms of-
2000s
in term-
and the
okay.
2010s. They won while they were young in their prime. They won while they were older.
When they were
so great.
old, it was because of Kawhi and Danny Green. Come on, you know that,
That
dude.
makes them so great.
That doesn't make them great. That
Yes,
makes
it
Kawhi
does.
great. That does nothing.
Kawhi won the MVP without having a play ran for him. Correct? They was able to open up the light, let him get shine. Manu
This is a
Ginobili is a
silly
guy that
argument.
gets shine.
This is
This
silly
is not silly at all.
Silly argument. Okay, at the end of the day, look, pound for pound, look.
You're getting cooked. You haven't made up one single argument. Give me
Both
something.
of them were the top 3 players in the NBA at the same time. That's never happened in NBA history.
Nothing to do with the duo.
So if they were so great, why did they need to come together?
Oh, I don't know what the hell that has to do with anything. At the end of the day, they are the best duo. Just 2 of them together, they're the best duo. No other duo up here. Maybe Kobe and Shaq. I'll get to you later, brother. But at the end of the day, I really think KD and Curry, just pound for pound top 3 in the NBA at that time. They did a lot of winning. They had the greatest playoff run of all time, 16-1. No one's touching that. They had
Shaq and Kobe were also 16-1, no? Well, no, they're 15-1 because it was still best of 3 in the first round.
yeah, I mean, no, 16-1 is the greatest playoff run. I mean, at the end of the day,
I mean, we have a duo that did that.
And okay, but in the modern NBA, closer to the modern NBA, it's harder defenses, and we'll get to that later. But at the end of the day, I do think Curry and KD,
Chris.
any argument you're going to say, Tony Parker, unfortunately, I love the guy, I'm from San Antonio, but he's not touching Curry and KD in terms of
But no,
greatness. At the end
it's
of
a
the
duo.
It's a
and
duo.
my duo both have final MVPs on the same team together. Your duo cannot do that.
So
That's it. I forgot about Tony Parker's 07 MVP.
So you're saying because KD won 2 Finals MVPs, Curry won a Finals MVP down the line. So Curry is capable. He's
Down the line without Kevin Durant. Out of Curry's 4 championships, he has 1 Finals MVP.
capable of doing it. He could have won it with KD.
He didn't.
Because
There is no coulda, shoulda.
Because he was playing second.
There is no
He
coulda,
was
shoulda,
okay.
woulda.
He was
I'm
great enough to
speaking
give
in
it to
facts.
KD
All
at the
matter
time.
facts. My duo had top 5 offense and top 5 defense, top 10 defense, top 10 offense together.
Okay, you keep saying defense. What is Tony Parker contributing to the defense, dude?
I don't give a damn.
Well, you
know
just
what I
said
mean?
you just
He was-
said defense.
If he
The
was on the-
Spurs
he
team
was on the
great.
court and they
The
was able to get it done, wasn't he?
Oh, yeah,
Wasn't he?
congratulations.
Wasn't he?
So same with the
Wasn't
Warriors.
he?
The Warriors did
Wasn't
the
he?
same thing, 16-1. Okay, they did it together. And then you're comparing the great teammates that Duncan
Slow down.
and Parker
Slow
had.
down. You got it.
Ginobili.
Yeah, he's cooked. He's cooked.
got
He's
it.
cooked.
He's a goat.
You
You
got
have
it.
all this stuff.
You got
I know
it.
I got it. God damn it.
You got it.
But yeah, at the end of the day, I think just we
don't
have
even have
Draymond
argument.
as the
You
third
don't
player.
even have argument.
I
You up
keep
here 'cause
saying
they asked you
arguments.
to make an
Every
argument. They want you to
every
have an
argument you're
argument.
saying
Shout out
doesn't
to
make
you.
sense.
He gave
And
y'all
then he just
content.
has hella
Y'all gave him
confidence.
too much of a load.
Oh my gosh.
Y'all hear? That's too much of a workload for him.
I will say you got circles talked around you, mama. I'm sorry. It wasn't there.
I feel like there's a lot of meat left on the bone for both of y'all. And I'm not going to say what because somebody will advance to the next round, so I don't want to give them the points.
It's Duncan and Parker.
Duncan and Parker.
Duncan and Parker.
Yeah, terrible job. Terrible job.
He did run circles around me, but at the
He got too animated, man. You have to stay in your thoughts. You have to You have to just get to it. You have to stick to your talking points. You have to pick apart their talking points.
end of the day, I think we all know Curry and
His main thing should have been like how spread out it was, and it should have been like he should have been like that their duo did it back to back. They were so good they did it back to back, and they could have 3-peated if KD didn't get hurt. That should have been a main talking point. They could have 3-peated in the 3 years together if KD didn't tear his Achilles.
KD are
Because Duncan and Parker have never won back to back in their 15 years together. They have never won back to back.
better, but at the end of the day, this is a debate show, and he did debate me better.
My name.
Versus the number 6 seed, LeBron and
Shaq and Kobe should watch here, man. Shaq and Kobe should
Wait.
watch here because the first thing will be brought up is 2011 and 2014, and that alone. But then you could bring up 2004, the last finals run together. I mean, it's the 3-point versus the 2-peat, but I think Shaq and Kobe should win this
All
one.
right, when we're talking about Shaq and Kobe, we're not even talking about a Batman and Robin situation. We are talking about Batman and Batman, Batman and Superman, whatever you want to call it, because these two were top 5 in their prime at the same time. They three-peated. They got more rings than LeBron and Wade. I mean, I would honestly like to hear what your argument is.
I think Batman and Batman is one of the wildest takes I've heard in my entire life. You don't believe that your damn self. Why would you say that? There's no such thing as Batman and Batman when it comes to that duo because that was purely seen as Shaq's team as one. But compared to my duo, which is more not on the same level necessarily because there's a clear alpha. We've seen LeBron win 2 MVPs, Shaq won 1. We've seen you guys win 3 championships. Cool, we were able to get 2. And something about my duo that's even more impressive, which is not to say yours is not, but in terms of how our team is constructed, it was much harder to win back then considering our 2 star players and how duplicative
the weak East? Are you talking about the weak East?
We're not talking about the weak East, no.
Yes, we are. That's exactly what we're talking about.
We're talking about duos right now.
And we want to talk about the weak East and bring up that the finals comp that the Lakers played with, they weren't good teams. But the 3-peat was, they played the Pacers in 2000, and old Reggie Miller on his way out, with Rick Smith at a center. In 2001, it was Iverson and friends. 2003 was a New Jersey Nets. Come on.
Don't lose the plot. Don't lose the plot.
You mentioned team accomplishments. What are you talking about?
I'm talking about team accomplishments, but I'm talking about how my team is constructed as well. You feel me?
So to beat better competition, right? You said that.
So what?
Competition. That was the word that you said.
I'm talking about competition.
Oh my God, am I being gaslit?
Are you gaslighting me right now? What type of conversation are we having right now?
Okay.
No.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so point is, LeBron, 2 rings with the Miami Heat. LeBron, also 2 NBA MVPs with this team. Of course, D-Wade was on the decline, but even while he
LeBron showing DPOY
was on the decline, he was still making all-NBA seasons continuously throughout the entire run. With what they're able to accomplish for that short amount of time, while we witnessed, unlike D-Wade, his health slowly declining, 2 championships is one of the more impressive feats of all time.
I think we cannot ignore 2011. I don't think we cannot ignore 2011.
Your duo didn't even like each other, man. That doesn't mean nothing. You're talking about 2011?
So why does that?
If he doesn't bring up 2004, he's losing the plot. If he doesn't pull up 2004, he is losing the plot. If he doesn't bring up the fact that Shaquille O'Neal and Kobe Bryant got outplayed by Chauncey Billups and Ben Wallace in the biggest stage of all, with Gary Payton and Karl Malone on the team, then you're losing the plot. That should be the main talking point. And that they struggled against Chauncey Billups and Ben Wallace, where their game plan was, oh, we're going to push you guys as far away from the paint as humanly fucking possible. If that isn't brought up, then you're losing the fucking plot. You can't lose 2011 when 2004 also exists, while Kobe played objectively worse than LeBron did in that series.
That matter. Why does that matter? They didn't like each other and they three-peated. 2011 happened.
You can't talk about the Shaq and Kobe duo without also talking about the disappointments of the conversation
the powers of your duo.
Your guy was big for no reason. He ran the other guy out of the city. He had to leave.
Because they won 3 championships. There was winning too much.
Why
there was winning too much?
Yes.
Nah, man. You can't be the greatest duo of all time if you say you're winning.
You said not 4, not 5, not 6, not 7. Y'all got 2.
I did not say that. I did not say that, all right? I'm talking about
My
these
bad,
2
you're
individuals.
doing.
I'm the
You're doing.
representation right now.
At the party.
Exactly. Let's get the facts straight. Outside of the actual accomplishments, if we're talking about the on-court product and the at times difficulties that could happen with my duo, with them being able to make it work, being similar-ish players in terms of how they like to get their buckets, while also really influencing an entire generation. Really, people don't want to talk about it, but LeBron and Wade and how they're able to thrive as a slashing duo really built a lot of things that we've seen over the last 10, 15 years. Meanwhile, Shaq and Kobe, they're just Shaq and Kobe. There's not much you can
they're
do
just
about
Shaq
it, you know?
and Kobe. Absolutely.
But there's real actual brain work and brain trust and actual skills that have to happen on the court in order for us to thrive, which is actually when you talk about what the word greatness means, this is defined by that.
I just think if you look at the help around Shaq and Kobe compared to LeBron and D-Wade.
What help do we have? You're not saying Chris Bosh. Please don't do that. It was supposed to be a big 3. No one ever talks about him as...
It was a big 3. It was a big 3.
It was supposed to be.
Who was the 3rd best player on the Lakers with Shaq and Kobe?
It's Shaq and Kobe.
Time's
There
up.
was no.
Exactly.
No
That's
one
the
ever
point.
talks about
That's
it.
the point.
This was a hard debate to judge.
Yeah,
like
I
you
don't
could
know.
tell y'all had the most friendliest debate up there.
Even though we didn't spend too much time on it, bringing up 2011, I think does play some part.
For me personally, I'm leaning towards Kobe and Shaq.
I'm gonna go Kobe and Shaq.
Yeah.
I'm leaning Kobe and Shaq.
Wow. Yeah, you see, you have to rebuttal with 2004. When 2011's brought up, you have to rebuttal 2004.
I understand their point. It's Kobe and Shaq. Whenever people talk about duos, memes, I get it. It's them.
Wrapping up the first round, we have the number 1 seed
This is gonna be a wash. Oh my God.
Jordan and Pippen versus the number 8 seed Jokic
who's
and
better,
Murray.
The Bulls?
I don't understand how
Yeah, it's gonna be a
you are
wash.
going
Donovan,
to
talk to me.
compete with all of the championships, with all of the accolades, with all of the winning when your duo has one ring, has a couple of nice runs, and it's just there. Like, it is a duo. We have like 7 more duos or 6 more duos here. You are the worst one here. You would get beat by all the other duos here. And so I don't understand why going up against Jordan and Pippen is the matchup for you. What you have, against them.
So the conversation's about the best duos of all time, meaning how you play together. So I would think that 2 elite scorers, 2 elite passers, 2 elite playmakers that play together
And 2 people who can outplay defense.
would make a better duo from a center point guard position than a shooting guard and a small forward. On top of that, they are the only duo ever to go to an NBA playoff run average
Swiper.
25, 5, and 5 together on elite
Swiper.
efficiency versus the best defenses in the playoffs. And they have 1,000 assists between each other in just 8 years played. So we can get to this conversation.
You said a lot of good attributes from your duo. The one thing that you did not say is good defense, because Jamal Murray is not a good defender, and Nikola Jokic
And
also.
Scottie Pippen is the worst scorer between all of them.
Scottie
The
Pippen,
worst offensive player between all of them.
Jamal Murray
Jamal
is
Murray
the
has
worst
a 50.
player.
Jamal Murray has a
is the
50,
worst player.
42, 53
He
game
is
in
the
3
worst
straight
player
games.
out of those.
Do you
4.
realize this? That's the funny part about this.
Apart in the one year,
But do you realize
in the 1 year that this duo was not together.
But do you realize
Scottie
that
Pippen
the-
is leading them to a conference
Do you realize
finals.
that the 1 year
your duo missed out on time
the
because
issue you're
Scottie.
running into the issue
Come
you're
on.
running into is that Jamal Murray is one of
Swiper. You can't just talk louder and interrupt him, man.
3 players, including Larry Bird and Steph Curry, to ever average 25, 5 and 5, and 39% from 3 and 90% from the free throw line ever. And on top,
He's bringing up stats just to make it sound like what he's talking about. Fair enough, Swiper. You're trying to defend your team, trying to defend your players, but you gotta let him get his point across. Every time he makes a point, you have to stop him making his point.
So that makes
you
it
got
be- so that-
three-
so that makes it
you got
better than
four-
Scottie
You
Pippen.
got 4 30, 20, 10 games in the NBA
So
playoff
that
with
makes him
Nikola
better than
Jokic.
Scottie
And then
Pippen.
on top of that, what you can get out of Jamal
So
Murray,
that makes him
yes,
better
what
than-
you can get out
he's
of Jamal
better than
Murray,
Scottie
and what
Pippen.
you can get out of Jamal Murray and Nikola Jokic as a duo, because the conversation is duo, not individual player. How you play together, how you actually match up through the NBA playoffs together, how you play versus elite
some great
competition,
points.
how you play when you need to be guarded in the pick and roll, how you play when you run in one switch, when you
Then I just watch him take a contested deep 2 down by 3 against Rudy Gobert.
running one an Iverson cut, you can put both of them in the action. When you want to get pinned down for both of them, you can do both of them. The thing is, when you play versus Jokic and Murray, these are
he's
2
talking
elite
strictly
scorers,
offense,
elite
which is
playmakers,
smart.
and they play off of each other
If you
better
keep the-
than Pippen and Michael Jordan. If we're doing accolades, you got a conversation. If we're doing titles, you got a conversation. If we're doing individual achievements, you got a conversation. But the question
That's
is
everything
duo.
in the game.
The
Like, what are you
question-
talking about?
The question
If
is
we're doing
duo.
Everything else.
Winning or
Question
accolades,
is duo.
this
How
duo-
you play together is
this
a
duo-
duo.
this
That's
duo-
the conversation.
this duo
Did Pippen
held
and
each other
Jordan
up.
play on
Thank
2
you.
great teams? They absolutely did. They didn't play on a great
Yes.
championship team with
Yes.
Bill Jackson?
Yes.
They absolutely did. But what happened
you.
is, when you play together as
What
a
happened
duo,
is they
you have to
three-peated
be able
twice.
to complement
What
each
hap-
other's
what
skill
hap-
set.
What happened
You
is
have
they
to be able to
three-peated
complement each
twice.
other's skill set.
What
The thing
happened
is, they're gonna give the win to Jokic and Murray because Swiper has talked more and talked louder and disrupted every one of his points.
in terms of complementing skill sets.
Yes.
Again, your duo has no defense to it at all. And
But
even
again,
hold on,
we're doing
hold
narratives.
on.
Dude, 'cause we can do narratives if you want. Because I know Scottie Pippen is a massive choker in the playoff. Massive choker in the playoff, since we're doing narrative. Michael Jordan couldn't win anything by himself since we're doing narrative. I can tell you this right now. When they
Jokic
needed
and
to play in the
Murray-
playoffs,
Jokic haven't won anything at all. They have one championship. They haven't won shit. They lost last year to the fucking to the Thunder. What are we talking about here? In 23, who'd they lose to in 23? I know 24. They lost to the Timberwolves in Game 7 down by 20 points. So don't even talk about playoff choking when that shit happened.
play defense. They had the
Of
third
course.
best. They had the third
Of
best
course,
defense.
of course.
They had the third best
You
defense in
can-
the
you
NBA
can
playoffs
even-
in
you can even have-
2023.
you can even
so
have
people
this
keep saying
narrative.
this
Hold on,
not
hold on.
defense thing. I see
You
them guard
can-
Anthony
you
Davis
can-
well.
you can
I
still
saw him
have
guard
this.
Rudy Gobert and Anthony.
He said Rudy Gobert. Get out of here.
Gobert.
I see them guard Anthony Davis well.
You can
I
still
saw him
have
guard
this.
Rudy Gobert and Anthony.
Rudy Gobert's your argument? Rudy Gobert's your argument?
Rudy Gobert?
I see them guard all these players.
Rudy
well.
Gobert hit a
I saw him
fadeaway
guard
jumper
LeBron
over
James.
Nikola Jokic
I saw
and got his ass out
I
the
saw
paint.
LeBron
You
James
got beat
get
by
packed
Rudy
up.
Gobert,
guess what?
and
Guess
you are
what?
going to tell
The funny
me
thing is- the funny
that
thing is
Jamal
what? The
Murray
funny
is better
thing
than
is
Scottie Pippen. And
LeBron
hold on,
James
I've
has
let
been
you talk.
swept
I've let you
twice in
talk.
his career
I've let you
before
talk
he
so
got to
much.
them.
I've
What do
let
you mean you let me
talk.
talk? This
I've
is the
let you talk so
debate.
much. I've let you
Make
talk so
better
much.
points.
I've let you talk so
LeBron
much.
James got
You're loud.
swept.
You're just
got
loud.
swept.
You
You know,
are
make a
loud
better
and
point.
wrong.
Go ahead.
You are
Make a
loud and
basketball
wrong.
point. Go ahead.
One,
Make
again,
a basketball point. Go
one,
ahead.
again, pieced up by Rudy Gobert. And you talked about
They lost
and-
one game
and
off
you
that one shot, by
And
the
you
way.
talked about, oh yeah, Michael Jordan can't win by himself. I'll let you have it. They won together as a duo.
But again,
6
we're talking
times.
about duo and how you play together.
Don, man. You know what? You remind me of me. Because if I was in your seat, the motherfucker would have talked louder than me too. You know what I'm saying? But his talking louder and his points are gonna get him the edge.
Number 8 Nuggets gave a strong argument, and he had a lot of counters.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with Nuggets too.
This is so stupid, man. Pippen or Jordan shouldn't be out already. They shouldn't be out because Swiper talked louder. This is such bull. I really hope.
I mean, I feel like Rudy Gobert just hit a fadeaway shot over me to send me out the playoffs. This is crazy.
It's gotta be Pierre and Swiper, bro.
Kicking off the
Please.
second round, we have our number 4 seed Duncan and Tony
Yes!
Parker versus the number
Yes!
8 seed Jokic and Murray.
I said this before. I'm gonna continue to say
Yes.
it. Tony
Come on,
Parker,
P.
Tim Duncan, the greatest duo that we have on this panel. Simple reasons: top
Talk
10
to you, P.
offenses, top 10 defenses, top 5 offenses, top 5 defenses. You know the Western Conference like I do. They went through it all. We're one of the few people and few teams. I don't know if anybody else has done this. We swept LeBron James in NBA Finals together, and we probably started the revolution that you see in the NBA of stars going into team up, because that spanking that they gave LeBron in the Finals, ultimately one of those things that sent him to the Miami Heat, and then we have the domino effect of KD going to the Warriors and so on and such.
It's funny you bring up sweeping LeBron James, because I distinctly remember Jamal Murray averaging 32, 5 and 5 on 50, 40, 90 versus LeBron James to sweep him out the Western Conference Finals. And I do think it's funny that when I'm arguing the duo of the Spurs when Tony was clearly the third best player between Manu, Tony, and Tim Duncan. So that's interesting. And also, between Jokic and Jamal Murray,
Was
they
he
have
the third best?
revolutionized how you
I mean, Ginobili was a better scorer, but I think Parker's overall the better player. That isn't debatable. Parker's a better player than Ginobili.
run offense between a guard and a center. By the way, that they're all great screeners, they're great passers, great decision makers,
How the
and
hell
great
is
scorer
Manu
on top
Ginobili
of that.
better than Tony Parker, a Finals MVP winner, 4-time All-NBA, 6-time All-Star? Explain to me how Manu Ginobili is better than Tony Parker.
And the reason why Jamal Murray and Nikola Jokic are such a great
What
duo
the he just, okay.
is the fact that you could run these inverted pick and rolls. Namely, for instance, when you played him against
You see, he's doing this shit again. He's just naming plays and what to do just to make it seem like, oh yeah, they can do this, they can do that, they can do that. Okay, and what's your point? Embiid and Maxey, Embiid and Harden did the same shit. They have one ring together.
in the Western Conference Finals.
Fuck,
when
this is pissing me
AD
off.
and they would have Dennis Schroeder, whoever would guard the two players, they would run this inverted pick and roll, which forces the big to have to show and recover, or you force a switch. And what the funny is Jokic is the best post.
He's talking about anything else. He's so focused on how they play together, but they realize that they haven't accomplished shit together. They can work as great as they want us to do it, but if they can't fucking win, it doesn't matter. They have one NBA championship, two conference finals appearances in like the 8 years they've been together. Tatum and Brown are a better duo than Jokic and Murray. Stop playing with me.
Scoring big we've had in the NBA since
This is getting
Shaquille
me
O'Neal.
pissed
And the
off.
way
What are
they
we
work
talking
together,
about
when you have an
here?
elite three-point shooter and an elite passer, and you have a player that's literally one of the most efficient scorers of all time in Nikola Jokic, who's shooting 70% on floaters, 60% on
You
mid-range,
making me
and
more disappointed.
44%
You had
from
me
three.
going.
And then
You
on
had
top of
me
that,
going.
if you add
If
the fact that you
Nikola
have
Jokic
Jamal
is as
Murray
great
and
as you're
Nikola
making him
Jokic,
out-
You see, he's doing this shit again. We're not letting anyone talk.
To me, then he
and
should
again,
have
it's
the
the
same
synergy
amount of
that
rings
existed between
or
the two.
more than Tim
Again,
Duncan.
we're getting to this ring argument. We're
because Tim
talking about
Duncan
how
is
they
that
play
great of a
together.
player.
But
And
I
so
think,
is Tony Parker, and he was able to do it
the
together,
great part about
right?
having a dual discussion is you have to talk about how they play together. Let me give you a set. So, for
my
instance,
guys playing
when
together.
the Denver Nuggets and the
Are
way
you
that they
telling
run
me
that
that you don't
horn
think
set,
that-
what they do is they'll put
Swiper,
Nikola
I
Jokic,
believe
they'll
you
put
at my
Jamal
age.
Murray right at that
I believe
nail.
that you're at my
And they'll
age.
run a 1-5
You never
pick and
seen
roll
Tony
or a
Parker get it
1-4
at
pick
the
and roll.
elbow,
And what they'll
fake
do is
handoff,
you
dump
see
down. You
versus
never
the
seen
Miami
that. They
Heat
did that for
versus the
two
Miami Heat.
I think
decades.
Pierre realizes now he can't just let him talk. He has to just talk over him now.
Los Angeles
2
Lakers versus the
decades,
Minnesota
and they were
Timberwolves
so great,
and versus
they were
the
able to
OKC
pump out
Thunder.
him,
I
put in him.
think what's so
They
interesting
kept that
about
team
this is
so
that when you,
great in the
again,
line
the
that they was able to get a
conversation-
Danny Green.
The
They was
conversation's
able to go
about
let
duo.
a Kawhi
But if
Leonard.
you're going to say who
It
can
was
play
the
off of who,
ecosystem of them
but again,
This
you don't
is
want to
the
have a
only
conversation
Parker.
about who
Play
can play off of who.
This isn't a debate. He has zero respect for other person. I'm gonna keep talking, no matter what happens.
Tim Duncan.
No, but Jamal, nobody plays off of anybody better than
Then
Jamal
why don't
off
they
Nikola
win
Jokic.
as much as the
Because they
Spurs?
had better teams. That's the whole
No,
point.
they don't.
Yes, if you're gonna lie to me, I want everybody to listen in the audience. If you're gonna lie to me and say
They
that
have
the
a better
Spurs
team.
didn't have better team than this Nuggets team, you're
Because
lying
of the
and you lost
duo.
the debate.
The
And make
duo
sure, judges,
is
you
as
know
great.
that.
You
No,
have two
they
Hall
had
of Famers.
Kawhi Leonard. They had all
Way
these other
later.
players. They had
And
Manu
they
Ginobili.
beat
They had
LeBron.
David Robinson.
When they-
What am I
no,
hearing?
they did not.
What am I?
David Robinson wasn't there. David Robinson wasn't there with this duo. What are we talking about? Kawhi didn't come until 2012. They were already like 13 years in at that point. Kawhi wasn't Kawhi until 2014. Come on, Swiper. David Robinson was there before Parker got there. We're not even counting David Robinson.
They have championships without David Robinson.
They had David
Tony
Robinson.
Parker wasn't
all
on that
these other
team.
players.
Tony
What are you
Parker
talking
was
about?
not on that
And matter of fact,
Hey,
Tim
I need
Duncan
Paul
won.
Lewis.
Tim Duncan
You gotta
won
know this shit.
before he got there.
You have
Hold
to
on,
know it.
Audience,
You
audience,
have
audience,
to
wait
know
a minute,
this
wait a
shit.
minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. Did Tim
Tony
Duncan?
Parker
Did
was not
Tim
on that
Duncan
team.
win? No,
Tony
don't look at
Parker
them.
was
Look
on
at
that
no,
team.
no, come back.
Tony
Did
Parker was not
Tim
on that
Duncan
team.
win before Tony got there?
Yes.
Okay,
One.
then you make my point.
How
You make
many
my
did he
point.
win after?
He had David
How many
Robinson,
did he
and
win
then he had
after?
the best defensive
How
class
many did
in
he-
the NBA with them.
So-
and then on top
so
of
are
that,
you-
I got it.
are you
Let me tell you
crediting-
this. Let me tell you
are
this.
you saying
and then
Tim
we're
Duncan ain't
talking
great?
duo. No, he's of course he's great.
So what
But
are you
we're
talking
But
about?
so is Jamal Murray. So is Nikola Jokic. Matter
So
of fact,
is
you,
Tim
matter of
Duncan.
fact, and by the way, y'all, you yourself think Jokic is the best offensive player ever. I've heard you say it.
I think that because this is going so well, we're gonna get 24 seconds each for you guys, uninterrupted, to give your final point on why you have the best duo.
God.
If Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray are
Thank
as
you.
great as you say, then they should be able to produce more championships. They weren't able to do that as much as Tony Parker and Tim Duncan. You talked about sweeping LeBron James when he was in his late 30s, almost 40. Tim Duncan and Tony Parker did that in the prime of LeBron James's career. My duo is better than yours. I understand that you're a Nuggets fan, so this is a little bit more passionate for you, but let's not be delusional. I know that you know basketball. 2 finals MVPs on the same team, able to do it at the same level consistently in 2 different eras, the 2000s and the 2010s.
The fact that you're bringing up sweeping LeBron James with Boobie Gibson as his second best player goes to show how desperate you are in this conversation. And then on top of that, talking about Jamal Murray and talking about Nikola Jokic, the reason why the duo works is they have a synergy that we literally haven't seen between 2 players that are this level of scorers, this level of passers, this level of playmakers versus any defense. Matter of fact, versus the best defense we've ever seen in the OKC Thunder with just 3 healthy players. They went to 7 in that series with a 40, 15, and 5 game twice for Nikola Jokic.
Fully healthy, Dub had a fractured hand.
And a 40 ball.
Dub had a fractured torn ligament in his hand.
From Jamal Murray versus
Damn,
the
you
Clippers
need
as well.
55 seconds?
What, he didn't take 24 seconds. He took 45 seconds.
It's a lot of good points. A lot of
It gotta be
times
P
where
here,
people
man.
Shut down those
It
points.
gotta be P. It
I'm
gotta be
giving
P
it
here.
to Tim Duncan and Tony Parker.
I'm giving it to Jamal Murray and Nikola Jokic. He tried to go last, so he
got the tiebreaker.
I'll give it to the number 8 seed who came out and fought
There's no way he's advancing.
Jamal Murray and Nikola
I think it had to.
Jokic.
There's no way. There's just no way.
I'm glad to end here. I don't got much more for y'all. My voice is gone. I'm limiting my words from now on.
My name is Frank.
And I'm saying seed
That shit
Kobe and
pissed
Shaq
me
versus
off.
the number 7 seed Steph and Draymond.
We are talking about 2 top 5 players
to me,
in the game
B.
at their prime.
Come on,
We are
B
talking about
Souls.
2 superstars in their prime who three-peated, who were the primary engines of the success of their teams. We're talking about those two against Steph Curry and a role player. Sorry. I don't even think they should be in this bracket in the first place.
Well, that's too damn bad because they are, and that's because they're a better duo than your duo, who obviously could not survive on each other for more than 3.5 years together at their prime before they had to break apart. My duo has all the reason in the world to break up over the years, and they continue to stay together. I have longevity on my side. Obviously, at the peak, everything I said in the first round, I have the best offensive player in the league, the best defensive player in the league. The two-way synergy is unmatched. That's a better combination than your guys, who are more talented, obviously. My duo actually makes each other better, actually covers for their faults, stay together for a long run, are way more influential. Nobody's influenced by Shaq being big. Nobody can go out there and say, I'm going to go be Shaq and Kobe. A whole league said, I want to get my Steph Curry and my Draymond. We talk so much about small ball, talking about how size doesn't matter, we need more shooting and all this stuff. Nobody's won with it besides Draymond Green at center. They have influenced the entire generation, try to be like them, try to find their Steph, find their Draymond. Nobody has done it. They define their generation better. They're just as dominant, have more rings than your best duo of all time. There's more talented players.
What about Draymond?
What about him?
Where is he in the power forward conversation?
He's one of the greatest defenders of all time.
Where is he in the power forward conversation?
Probably low key. He's probably pretty goddamn high relative to what you perceive.
Relative? There is no relativity when it comes to Shaq. He's just one of the best centers of all time.
No, that's crazy. He's probably a top 10 power forward of all time because he is such an amazing duo to Steph Curry. That is a singular reason why he's in that conversation, why he's going to be a Hall of Famer. Because his defense is so special, playing off of Steph Curry specifically,
100%.
that him being a duo with Steph elevates him in these conversations.
100%.
Steph Curry playing next to Draymond Green and having that defender by him, that playmaker by him, elevates him to being the greatest point guard of all time.
You're not going to get away with the fact that the success of the Golden State Warriors was not just Steph, Draymond, and them running over the West. It was Steph, Draymond, Clay, Sean Livingston, Andre Iguodala, all of them. When we're talking about the Lakers, it was Shaq, Kobe, and I dare to ask you again, who was their third best
Robert
player?
Horry, because he told me when I asked last time. Yeah.
So we're talking about
research. How about you try
we're talking about Robert Horry versus Klay Thompson, one of the best two guards of all time, one of the best shooters of all time.
I'm supposed to punish my team for having a good GM and finding more pieces
You're not,
that are good?
but we're talking about duos. That's it. That's the only reason I'm bringing it up.
They won with Klay Thompson being really good in.
So my question is, why not focus on 2022? If I'm Isaac here, you bring up 2022, where they were not the favorites going into the series against the Boston Celtics. They were actually projected to lose to the Celtics in that finals run because the Celtics were deemed to have a better and more all-around versatile team. And then you also bring up 2004.
2015, and obviously there for the double back-to-back with KD, and they won with him being washed post-injuries in 2022. Klay Thompson is marginal compared to the impact of Draymond and Steph Curry. They are the system. They're still the system now. They've stuck together this whole time. One's the offense, one's the defense. Just because there's good players coming in and out is fine. You got good players in 2004. You got 2 Hall of Famers coming in, and then they crumbled because it's not so easy to play with a lot of good players. You have to manage egos, manage touches, manage all this stuff. They manage to do it all the time. You know why? Because Steph Curry is the most impactful offensive player of his era who can play with anybody, and Draymond Green elevates everybody defensively. They are equipped to play with multiple people that are good, unlike your duo who they got to get their buckets and everybody else has a motherfucking watch.
My duo still did something that your duo never did, and that is 3-peat.
And I got 4. Three's more than you care more about the number and back-to-back. I have more rings.
But it is more impressive.
Who do you think was better at night? If somebody who has 4 rings in their hands or 3? They're all, thank God I didn't lose that one.
The one who 3-peated, I ain't gonna lie.
That's ridiculous. Having another championship is clearly better. That's just stupid. That's absurd to think that 3 is better than 4, and no matter what the context is.
Isaac did have a good point about Steph being more influential. I do think you had something to go there because Kobe, everybody in the league is wearing Kobe's. So like there was a point there where you could have got there and went on that angle. But my vote goes to Isaac.
Golden State Warriors. Golden State Warriors.
Yeah, B Souls got washed on that one.
I'm not gonna lie, he out-debated me. I think that just shows the point of this show, the point of this video, is that this is about who's a better debater. Because I'm pretty sure we all know that Shaq and Kobe are actually the better duo, but if you can out-talk a person, I mean, hey, you out-debated them.
Our final round matchup, the number 7 seed Steph and Draymond versus the number...
Yo, if Jokic and Murray win this, man. Oh my God, if Jokic and Murray win this.
8 seed Jokic and Murray.
I really appreciate your duo. I think Nikola Jokic is one of the greatest offensive players of all time. In the running for GOAT, offensive player, Steph Curry's blocking him. I think Jamal Murray is in the running for one of the greatest sidekicks in modern NBA history. Draymond Green is blocking him. Your duo is in the running for one of the most complementary duos of all time. My duo is blocking them because they do it offensively and defensively, not just offensively, while doing a lot of the same stuff offensively. You might end up being a really accomplished duo. Mine already is. You're chasing the ghost I leave behind.
I think one of the things you look for in great duos, especially greatest, is portability and how well they play together and how well they play with other people and how well other people play off.
You can't make the argument with the Warriors, man. I'm not gonna lie. You can't make the argument with the Warriors. You can't make the argument with Steph and Draymond. We see how portable they have been with Andrew Wiggins being the third best player. You see how good they've been when Kevin Durant is there, Kevin Durant not there, Klay Thompson at his peak, Klay Thompson not at his peak. You have seen them do it all. It's hard to say that.
Currently, with just those two, those are the only All-NBA talents they've ever played with each other. They have currently led the greatest offense we've ever seen. They
Jamal Murray never won All-NBA. This year he will, though, but he never has.
revolutionized offense together. And then in the NBA playoff, when they play versus the fiercest competition and the fiercest defenses, they have never lost when they've been on the court in less than 7
I'm
games.
not going to let you
That's
pull
an
up that
important
greatest
thing.
offense shit. I understand how modern offensive ratings work. It keeps getting better and better and better. Per their era, the 2017-2018 Warriors with my duo, we're still the better offense.
That's not a duo. Kevin Durant was the second.
Yeah,
best
well,
player
has he
on that
won
team.
before them or after them?
Well,
No,
it's about
it is
who
a
played.
duo.
It's how they play together. Kevin Durant was clearly the second best player, most important player.
Yeah,
on that
clearly,
team.
clearly this, clearly that. He has never done anything outside of that. I'm not even going to entertain the talking point. We can leave Kevin Durant
Well, you
in the
brought up
past.
Kevin Durant.
You want to shit on Kevin Durant for 5 minutes? We can do it. Let's do it after the camera.
I don't have a reason to, but if you're going to acknowledge 2017-18, which you brought up, you need to acknowledge
wanna
that
talk about
Kevin Durant was
scalability?
clearly the best team.
I
best
don't need
player
to
on that
acknowledge
team.
that 'cause that's not true at all. But nevertheless, scalability. Steph Curry, most scalable star of all time, even more than Jokic. Better off-ball player. Well, Jokic just
So
as good on-ball.
one of the best interior scorers ever, one of the best three-point shooters ever, one of the best mid-range shooters ever, a more scalable player.
One of the best three-point shooters ever. Brother, I remember what the Timberwolves did to that motherfucker last year. 2 years ago. I remember what he did to them. They're like, yo, Jokic, shoot the ball. We beg you, shoot the goddamn three-pointer. Take a three. Go 1 of 9. We dare you. Please, shoot. Because he can't. He isn't a consistent three-point shooter. He's not. That 2023 fluke three-point season run. It was a fluke three-point playoff run. That shit was a fluke. Teams now are daring Jokic to take more threes, cause that's how you beat him. You make the motherfucker shoot.
Obviously, the margins are close.
It's obviously not true. And then a much better offensive rebound.
The
a much
margins
better
are close,
screener.
but Steph Curry
and then
gets
on
a nod
top
there.
of that, if you're having a conversation with Jamal, who literally has outplayed Anthony Davis and LeBron James in a series,
And then got shut down.
Murray,
and then got shut down by
who's
Jaden
outplayed
McDaniels the
Jimmy
next
Butler.
day, while Rudy Gobert and Cat put Jokic in a torture
Shut
chamber.
down in 7. Oh, I forgot.
Yep, got
when
put in
you
a torture chamber.
lose in a game 7, scoring 35 points in 30.
You choked a 20-point lead at home. In a quarter and a half, you choked a 22-point lead at home to Rudy Gobert hitting a fadeaway in the fourth quarter. There's no debate here.
19
What about the game? What about the games
that
leading up
means
there?
you got shut
What
down.
about the games leading
but
up
I
there?
distinctly
What about the games
remember-
leading to that game?
I distinctly remember Steph Curry with a 3.
Oh, now we gotta get loud. Okay. Now we gotta scream for 5 minutes.
I distinctly remember a 3-1 lead. Let me quiet it down so the audience can remember this. I distinctly remember a 3-1 lead for Steph Curry versus LeBron James, where he got walked and sucked down the rest of that series.
Hey,
I distinctly remember. Draymond Green punching out people on the floor and getting suspended and losing in the biggest moment. I distinctly remember the fact that Steph Curry, unless he has universally.
Last I checked, we're gonna break up stats. Draymond Green was the best player in that game 7, statistically speaking. He had the most points and had a triple-double.
The best help in NBA history, every single final run except for 2022 can't win. I distinctly
Is it my turn to scream
remember
yet?
that I can get quiet
I just
again.
speak- okay,
I distinctly remember that Nikola Jokic has
There you
never
go,
played
Isaac,
next to
check
another
him.
MVP player. I distinctly remember that whenever Jokic has a healthy roster around him, they go far and they win.
So,
the issue is injury. And on top of that, when your boy had he had a chance to win in 2019. And we remember versus the Toronto Raptors with no Kevin Durant, no Boogie, and it was just Draymond and just Steph. And what happened? They got walked.
Can I be toxic
Because
real quick?
Kevin Durant was hurt.
Can I be
Because
toxic?
Boogie was hurt. Because
Game 6, Klay tore his ACL, and that
Klay
kind of.
Thompson got
Can I be
hurt.
toxic real
So
quick?
as soon as they're not healthy, matter of fact,
Judges, can I be toxic real quick?
I remember in
Yes, they
2021
nodded. Has Jokic
when there was
ever-
no Klay Thompson, you didn't even make the playoffs in your prime.
In
your prime. So
Never
I
beat
do
a 50-win
remember that.
team to win this ring, beat a bunch of bums, beat a bunch of 8
They
seeds,
beat a
7
50-win
seeds,
team last
yada,
year.
yada, yada, not to win a ring.
Hey, guess what?
2022 was individually a better ring than 2023, so
Jokic
that
has
alone makes me
never-
have more
By the
confidence
way,
in you.
just so you
That's
know,
to ignore 3 rings
Jokic and
before
Jamal
that.
Murray have
Accomplishments
never
are
missed
nowhere
the
close.
playoffs in their peak in their career.
Great,
even
they
when
go
Jokic
there
was
and they
hurt.
get did by Rudy Gobert and Jaden McDaniels.
Bro,
They get
you-
did by the 2020 Lakers blowing
You
the 3-1 lead.
literally missed the playoffs in a prime peak year with Steph and Dre.
Nevertheless, I have 4 rings. You have 1. That is not close. I had the more complimentary duo because I had the best defender and the best offensive
with
player.
Kevin Durant,
Everything
with
you
Klay
say,
Thompson,
oh, we
with Sean
invented,
Livingston.
we invented split
Keep
action.
adding
We
the
invented
numbers.
dribble handoffs.
Andre Iguodala,
My guys have been doing it for
all
a
that stuff.
decade.
Order
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
court.
There
We
you go,
invented
Isaac.
dribble handoffs. All right.
Do y'all want to see an extra 24 seconds for
Yes,
each
you
I
candidate?
would love it. I would love it.
Hey,
have to.
listen, this is uninterrupted.
Jamal Murray and Nikola Jokic are great. Everything they do great. Draymond Green and Steph Curry do as well. They also are amazing playing through a hub big man, are amazing playing off ball, double screening, letting Steph Curry be a screener, influencing offense with them two on the court. All of that matches. Defensively, Draymond Green also carries the game. Aside that, not only do you have players who don't do that, they are active negatives at points. You can talk about the downfalls of them in 2016, etc. You also
100%.
have had negative showings. Jamal Murray has had multiple years where he was garbage between his amazing seasons in the playoffs. Everything you've done, I've done, and I've won more.
I've never been up 3-1 in the NBA Finals and lost with the healthier team. So I think the issue is you're running into that Steph Curry in his prime missed the playoffs. Draymond Green in his prime missed the playoffs. And on top of that, unless you had all-time great help, you didn't win. And I think that's the biggest point here. Jamal Murray and
15 and 22.
Nikola Jokic have never played with another player the caliber of Kevin Durant. And then on top of that, Andre Iguodala, I for sure know of that duel, he won Finals MVP in 2015, and you value that stuff.
For the championship round, I want to let y'all know, y'all delivered. I will go with Swiper.
I'm going to go with the Warriors.
I'm going with the Golden State Warriors.
There's no way Swipe would have won that one.
I think everybody did a really good job. I think, being in these environments is really difficult. When you got the pressure on you, you got the cameras on, and you got to put together a debate, a salient argument, and you don't know who you're going to be debating. It takes a lot of effort and a lot of time. I thought you did a great job. That was your best round that you've had so far. And I think that's what pressure does. You get pressure on you, some people rise, some people fold. You rose, and so that was a great finish from you.
I was surprised that you put Steph Curry and Draymond Green so low. Apparently, everyone thinks a lot less of Draymond Green than I do. I feel like this is a very clear-cut top duo of all time. I was hearing chatter from the other debaters. I should have picked Klay Thompson, which to me is crazy. But nevertheless, I'm glad to see the duo that deserves to get some representation.
That's going to do it for this episode of the
Great video. Clash House of Highlights, great goddamn video. I see the argument. Personally speaking, I don't think they're all the greatest duo, but hey, it's a debate at the end of the day. Anyone can win a debate if you really put your mind to it. As always, God of the dudes. Salute.